The Indiana Dunes. For most, they're a summer playground full of sand and sun. But for a short while each spring, this popular vacation destination is for the birds.
The Indiana Dunes Birding Festival is a celebration of the Indiana Dunes area and all of its migrating birds that are coming through this area. We have over 700 birders that attend this festival, and we really just want to get people together to celebrate that huge flux in migration, over 200 bird species that can come through.
The Indiana Dunes Birding Festival, hosted by the Indiana Audubon Society, is timed to coincide with the peak of the spring bird migration here in the Midwest. And while the southern shores of Lake Michigan are a picturesque spot for a get-together, this location wasn't chosen simply for its scenic splendor.
So the dunes area is really great for birding because we have a variety of habitats. So we have this woodland area that we're here right now and it's gorgeous. We also have the dunes, of course, because we're right on Lake Michigan. We have lots of wetlands as well and prairies. So these birds migrate they migrate north in the spring and then come back down south in the fall. So right now, of course, we're on spring migration for the festival. Really what happens is they use a lot of the landscape and natural features to navigate to their northern breeding grounds. But because of Lake Michigan, it creates a funnel effect along the flyway.
The Indiana Dunes State Park is perfectly situated at the southern tip of Lake Michigan to take advantage of this funnel effect, giving the birders at this festival an opportunity to see thousands of migratory birds across more than 200 species.
So the Indiana Dunes State Park Longshore Tower is an awesome migratory hotspot for birds. Because of Lake Michigan and creating that funnel effect with migration, that observation tower sits right on the edge of Lake Michigan, so you can actually see it from the tower. So it almost draws them all in. And right here, right in the dunes at that southern point of Lake Michigan is where they sometimes congregate, maybe for a day or two before they're gonna travel either over the lake or around the lake. And so we get these kind of what we call migration fallouts, where tons of birds will just be hanging out in this natural space and just waiting kind of to migrate farther north. So it's awesome birding if you can come one morning on those fallouts. They're just kind of birds everywhere, and it's really great and awesome to share that with people too.
All right, so this is similar to the bird we got last time. Does anyone? White crowned sparrow. We're seeing a lot of these right now.
Festival goers also have a chance to see some of these avian travelers up close. Here, a conservation scientist demonstrates how birds are captured, studied, and their legs banded with identification tags for future research.
So Indiana Audubon and the festival bans birds because we want to be able to make the best management decisions, essentially. We want to know where these birds are going and what habitats they're using. What we do with banding is we, of course, catch them in what's called mist nets, and then we put them into these holding bags where they're just alone and not by anything else, so they can kind of like relax and be calm. It's almost like, if you wrap yourself up in a blanket at home just to calm down and relax, so they can have a few seconds. We'll measure their wings, get their weight, record the species and the sex of the bird as well, and then all the participants can watch that and really get kind of an in-depth look at what the research looks like. And then after that, the banders will hold the bird up a lot of times for people to see up close and personal.
Who wants to let this bird go?
And then they'll also a lot of times let the public or let the participants release the bird so they can hold them in their hand for a few seconds before it flies away, of course. When they go back into the wild, they might be caught at a different banding station somewhere else, maybe let's say in Canada, for example. And so when that banding station catches our bird, let's call it, then that banding station will record it on the bird banding website, and then we can see where that bird migrated to, of course, and then if it's using different habitats or what type. So it just gives us a broader picture of where these birds are going and what areas they're using so that we can, better help them and better conserve these natural spaces.
While the Indiana Dunes Birding Festival is certainly a perfect place to build a closer bond with our feathered friends, for many, Nurturing the human connections that are made here is equally important.
There are 700 people here that all really love birds and get enjoyment from it and love to do that. And it's kind of like, you know, when you have a hobby, it's fun to share that hobby with other people and connect with others. So it's not just about finding the birds and enjoying their beauty, but it's, you know, sharing that with other people. It's going to the socials or out on the tours and talking about, oh, hey, I saw this Virginia rail one time, or, oh, did you see that solitary sandpiper that was over here, and just really getting that sense of community. And so really it's just bringing people in to celebrate this large expanse, this large diversity of birds and habitat, and then of course getting people together to share in that joy as well. A bird just flew right in your shot. Did you see it? Yeah, it went poof.
No, really?
Yeah, you'll have to. It like flew, like just about hit me.